indulge the audience of the high table. TESCON cannot do it if the people on the high table don't do things right. And what do I mean by this? The bottom-top leadership approach. This time, we should not impose candidates when we are going for parliamentary primaries. No interference. The people the constituents want are the people we are supposed to present if we are serious in breaking the eight. Also, when it comes to grabbing of opportunities, it should not be self-centered. Some people are only thinking about themselves as national executives, what have you, when it comes to taking juicy contracts and every other opportunity. So there's no room for the grassroots, and we are serious about breaking the eight. It won't be possible. Let's open up a little so that people, the food soldiers, grassroots, we all can make sure that everything is being shared accordingly. Then we are serious about breaking the eight. And also, we should have open contest when it comes to our people putting themselves up for youth organizers, what have you. There is no machinery that should be working for a particular candidate. It goes straight out to the flag bearership. The machinery should be such a way that it's a fair contest. When you come, you win, then we move forward. That are ways that we can break the eight. And most importantly, by the time we get to 2024, we should be serious to making sure that we have accomplished about 70% of whatever we told Ghanaians for them to give us the mandate, which is what is in our manifesto. If we can't complete 70%, nobody is going to listen to us, and we know that we are going to a position. And when we do that, the mindset of the Ghanaians will be changed, and we know that we are going to break the eight. And so thank you very much for your audience. All grievances should be put aside if we want to make sure that we are going to break the eight. If you not receive something, that's why God prays for saying. If we want your position, when I even get to the entrance of a ministry, I think my ass will be kicked away. But if we are in power, you can even just be there. Somebody will just be driving away because the person will be in your party and just give you something from the day. And that is what it is. Thank you very much for your audience.
Our Mother Teresa, yes, we just heard from the PM. The presiding member. People's Mother, thank you so much. Ms. Rosemont Obi, Deputy National TESCON Coordinator. Quickly, we want to implore the remaining dignitaries, apart from the key speakers, that we are just hard fought with time, so let's be a bit circumspective with our delivery. I want to quickly invite the Deputy CEO for NCA, Manuel Puisefa, to give us a short pep talk. You can appreciate it, please. Commitment. Mr. Chairman, Honorable Member of Parliament, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I've actually had a couple of occasions, and each time Salam goes before me, and I'm like, he says everything that I pretty much have to say, but I've been here, and I might as well add a little value to the occasion. So since the FC seems to be trying to drive everybody away, I'll keep it really short and memorable. All I want to tell you is to bring the age, you yourself have to fix yourself. Okay, so again, for a short message, you know, the fourth industrial revolution is here with us. And that industrial revolution includes things like artificial intelligence, robotics, software engineering, Internet of Things, virtual reality, and you cannot be left behind. I don't say this to tell you that everybody has to be an IT expert. I tell you that whatever you study, whatever you do to improve yourself, to give yourself a competitive advantage, so that you, because remember, when you do well, all right, your family does well, the MPP does well, and you will be happier, you'll be able to do more, your family will see you as a model. So make sure that you improve yourself, and in improving yourself, make sure that your digital skills are up to sharp. You get me? Okay, so if you're a lawyer here or you're training to be a lawyer, you're whatever you are studying, make sure that you don't just go on the internet and just play on social media all day. That you learn to type, to use these things for very productive means, for entrepreneurship, and so on. And if you do this, you will be in good shape and you help us brigade. Thanks so much, and God bless TESCON, God bless FPP, and God bless Ghana. Thank you.
Yes, he is the Deputy CEO for FCA. You can do it better. Let's clap for him, please. When it is time to do your national service, you will clap loudest. Let's clap for him, please. Thank you so much, Mr. Principal, for very short deep talks in encouraging TESCON on UPSA campus. And yes, as part of measures being implemented by the Office of the Regional Youth Organizer, Honorable Moses Abo, we are embarking on an initiative to connect government appointees, officials, party bigwigs with TESCON. And so what we are planning to do, and what we are starting today, is by connecting some key godfathers, some key government officials to be patrons of campus TESCONs. And so to start with, to adopt them, to start with, respectively, the regional youth organizer wishes to request that Honorable Boakye and the General Secretary of our party, being represented by the Deputy General Secretary, Honorable Nilaye, to adopt TESCON UPSA. To adopt TESCON UPSA. This is a request in all aspects of guidance, mentorship, orientation, significantly financial emoluments. And indeed, official letters will come to them from the auspices of the local TESCON in UPSA. So, Madam President, we write officially to them, and we thank our dignitaries in advance for accepting to mentor TESCON UPSA. And let's a round of applause for Honorable Boakye and our General Secretary, John Boakye, for accepting to adopt TESCON UPSA. I'm sure in their remarks they will speak. To the request. Right, so our able Deputy CEO for NCA has given us a whopping sum of 7 million Ghana cedis. Let's appreciate it. 7 million Ghana cedis to support. And indeed, the father of TESCON, sometimes when he transport programs and he donates, I wonder, is it Kabesa? And indeed, we want to use this opportunity to implore the dignitaries to support our regional youth organizer. So far, he has no appointment, nothing, but he keeps supporting financially TESCON in their institution. He is giving us 10 million Ghana cedis, 1,000 Ghana cedis. Thank you so much. Most South Pole just from everything, so that he can give us a lot of financial. I've seen the TESCON coordinator all the way from Upper West, Upper East. Yes, Sami is with us. Thank you very much. Regional TESCON coordinator for joining us. I want to deeply invite Mr. Nana Sapon, the political assistant to Honorable Alan Martin, the Minister for Trade and Industry. You said what? And what? So
Mr. Chairman, actually he bears my boss's name, and they happen to be distant cousins. My brother, who is an MP, Farouk, Honorable Farouk, is difficult calling Honorable because we've been calling him Bra Farouk. And all protocol of that. I am always excited when I get the opportunity to attend youth programs and programs that involve TESCON. Greetings from the Office of the Trade and Industry Minister, Honorable Alan Kojo-Johansen. He would have been here himself, in as much as that we got the invite a bit late, but as we speak, they are a cabinet retreat, and so all cabinet ministers are out of town. I am here today to encourage all of us. One thing that is important, and one thing that has been lost in our body politics today, is what we call loyalty. Many a times we follow people, many a times we follow political parties and we draw our support, not because of what we believe in, not because of our convictions, but it's because of what we think we can get today and now. But I'm here to encourage you that the one element that is most important and most rewarding is the element of loyalty. I know it's difficult to ask you to continue to support, to ask you to continue to do what you can do without any form of motivation. But trust me, the motivation that comes with loyalty cannot be measured. The NPP as a party, the NPP as a government led by His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo is doing everything it can to create more jobs so that when you and I are out of school, we will have something to do. If you come to our ministry, we have been able to establish 67 business resource centers across the country, and it is evident for us to see. If you come to the automobile industry, we have been able to establish about 5. We have Nissan, we have Toyota, we have VW, we have Sinotrack, and all of these big organizations and assembly industries are here right with us in Ghana. They are creating jobs for you and I to get jobs to do when we are out of school. The NPP government is laying an excellent foundation for us to build up. We have drastically reduced the unemployment rate in the country, and you and I would attest to that fact. And we are doing more. We are revamping the pharmaceutical industry. Increasingly, we are bringing about the database that TESCON wants to adopt in a national sense, that all of us would have a solid database that will be able to address the economic situation in our country. Let us not lose hope. The foundation is being laid. Let us put our hearts together. Let us break the 8. Let us not make the mistake of 2008. If we do, the foundation that is being laid today will be destroyed, and it will take us more than energy to be able to build it up after 8 years. If we want to have a better Ghana, let us break the 8 for us to put up the structures on the foundations we have laid. Thank you, and God bless us all. Oh, and please, from our office, Alan Shermanton, the Cashman. Okay, you are right. So we are donating 3,000 Ghana cedis to us. God bless you. In these dark COVID times, it's difficult to hold money. So we appreciate it. A round of applause for the aid of Honorable Alan Shermanton, giving us a weapon sum of 30 million Ghana cedis, 3,000 Ghana cedis. Are we clapping? Let's appreciate them. And yes, again, Honorable Stefan has given us a open sum of 7 million Ghana cedis. Thank you so much, sir. I want to quickly invite the father of the constituency,
the father of the constituency. No size chairman. We have chairman and we have chairman. This one is a foreign chairman. Yes, let's receive Chairman Dollar, the chairman for the Nigeria constituency. Thank you so much. Mr. Chairman, I'm very happy to be here today as the host constituency. You are all welcome to our humble constituency. Without saying much, I keep saying that all of us here, one way or the other, experience either TESCON or MPP's organization. And the experience that we had those days was so great. So it makes me happy anytime I'm around students and we are doing our own thing. So even being a chairman, I'm always here with my people, and I see myself as the commander-in-chief of UPSA college. We succeeded in so much increase recently based on our hard work and proper coordination, and I think that we will continue to do same and more victory will be ours. To the TESCON, I keep saying that you are not the first TESCON president, or the first TESCON secretary, or the first TESCON bookcom, and you are not going to be the last. Previous years, how many of them that you still remember their names? Oh, this one was here. But I am telling you today, like, let your name be the mark of UPSA TESCON. That when they mention UPSA TESCON, let your name be the mark. There is a job to be done and no position to be occupied. And that job will give you that mark. Without that, you will still be the president and they will still ask, where is the TESCON president? I want you to have this in your mind. And to those outgoing TESCON executives, you've laid a very solid foundation. And should the draftsman see the foreman building the house that he did not design, you have to correct the foreman. If you don't correct the foreman, the first question is, who designed this building? And the blame will come to you. So whether you are still on campus or you are out of campus, still have it in mind that I have some babies in here. I have to protect them. I have to groom them. And your name is still raised. Once in a while, invite your former TESCON executive. Including pressure, now regional treasurer, including Ghana, including General, including Richmond, including Agyarko, all of them, invite them. Because they have a story to tell you. And I think that is the topic for today. If there are advices you can give to your child at dawn time, some can be in the afternoon, and some can be in the night. I think for this forum, this is a dawn advice, and that's what I have to tell you. Thank you very much.
You're expecting an announcement for something. You know how he does it. You know how he does it. You know how he does it. Is someone coming for the microphone? I don't know, but you know how he does it. A whooping sum of $1,000. $1,000 United States dollars. $1,000 United States dollars. Not
Liberia, Zimbabwe, United States, yeah. Yes. Thank you very much so much. Our only chairman, the father for the constituency, we say, only you. We are there for you on any day. Yes, I want to, our royal Boakye, please, let us have some temporal. Thank you so much. A son of a former vice president, the venerable late Mahama. Today, even though I had read about it, it has been confirmed in living color. The young man that constructed 100 boreholes. You know the price of giving one. You understand. And you see, he is a member of parliament of a distinguished constituency. It is a historic constituency. Yankee, a round of applause for the man who mirrors our future. The member of parliament for Yankee, Honorable Farouk Mahama. Let's see. You can do it better for the Honorable Member of Parliament. He is handsome, he is knowledgeable, he is prolific.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege today to be seated by a very strong party, our former minister and chairman, former energy minister, Mr. Agyarko, my senior brother, and the man who made me really with 16,000 votes, Isakotoma, my colleague, my brother Nanayao, my other colleague Salam Mustafa, a very hardworking young man, very soon he will be proud. So, SM, the Food Soldiers President, my brother, this weekend he unleashed the Food Soldiers on me, so I have to be tread cautiously. My colleagues here, my sister who I think she's contesting for Greater Accra, I wish her well. Deputy CEO, my senior brothers here, I recognize all of you and my other colleagues. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and assalamu alaikum to all of you. And thank you very much. At least having gathered here with party stalwarts is an opportunity for us to come together again and see how important a party of such nature, that is the New Patriotic Party, people who suffered from the party, all and sundry. Looking at the young, we are the youth, we and you are the youth. And I think today TESCON is a real embodiment of enthusiasm and making sure that the youth of the country are positioned well, and the youth is the main pillar that will drive us to bring the heat. Having had engagements with TESCON, I think I've been part and parcel of TESCON every time I'm engaging both Legon. And I'm privileged to say my PA and my nephew, Martin Abdullahi, who was the former TESCON president, is my PA. That tells you that TESCON leadership is something that prepares you for the future. And I want to use this opportunity to congratulate the new incoming ones and outgoing ones to forge ahead. We have a human tax. Breaking the aim involves recognition within ourselves, giving recognition to the youth, the party, those who suffered for the party. We must appreciate hard work and not look upon each other, because the party is not for one. We have seen President go and come president before everybody knew what he did for this party with my late father, Mahama. The President of the Republic, has taken over the mantle from our former president, with Dr. Boakye. They are doing their best. They've shown leadership. We are expecting that the new crop of leaders that will take over from the president, inshallah, if God ordains the president for us, we must not say we are waiting for us to choose a presidential candidate first. We must educate ourselves and prepare our minds and be part of the decision-making process of who is going to be the president tomorrow. You and I must be well prepared, so that when you are taking decision that will make sure that it will go beyond, so that when you're breaking the haze, it's not going to be by virtue of talking, but position yourself. TESCON, we the youth, all of us, as we said, as Boakye, Samia Okuru, and are all youth people. We are all coming up it doesn't mean that you too cannot be somebody tomorrow. I am somebody of a believer, of a go-getter. Whatever I set myself to achieve, I try to achieve. And I want to inculcate that into your mindset and make sure that nobody in this world, if you want to achieve anything you can achieve. I always take solace from the fact that my late father was just a poor Cocos son in the AP who rose to become a vice president. What tells you that a rich man or a poor man's son too cannot be somebody tomorrow? So if you are determined, you can only do that by making sure we have the requisite education, making sure you network. We have a lot of people here who you can reach out to mentor and reach out to. So tonight is a night to come and make sure that we energize the youth and make you understand that we are with you and we will definitely be part and parcel of you and your success. We are all here, our doors are open. Anytime we want to reach out, people's mother is a good mother who always takes care of her children. So we appreciate her too. And we want to thank you tonight because the chairman is here to speak. I'll not bother you with much talk. I have always been a believer and a supporter of TESCON. And I'm here tonight to support TESCON, both spiritually and financially. And tonight, I am making a donation of 5,000 Ghana cedis. So we will contact my team, and we will make sure that the 5,000 is brought to them. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. A round of applause for the Member of Parliament for Yindi, Honorable Farouk Mahama. He's giving us 50 million Ghana cedis. You know, the high amounts, when you say that you found this piece of baseball, 50 million Ghana cedis, 5,000 Ghana cedis. Thank you so much. Let's go for him, please. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind gesture to support TESCON UPSA. Ali Chamcha would take, please, let's have some silence in the hall. Right, thank you. A representative of the CEO of the party, the General Secretary of the party, and he is the Deputy General Secretary of the party here to give us the keynote address. On behalf of Honorable John Kwedu, let's receive Honorable D. Squire here with us. This is a message from your General Secretary. And you have to listen carefully. We are trying to break the things. Mr. Chairman, the National Youth of Nigeria here, Government of India present, Regional and Constituency Party Executives present, National TESCON coordinators, TESCON executives from sister institutions, invited guests, the media, student leaders, members of TESCON, ladies and gentlemen. I humbly bring you warm greetings from National Secretariat of the party, in particular the National Executive Committee. It has always been a pleasure addressing young people, particularly members of TESCON, which without doubt rose to be the intellectual organ of the party and the breeding ground for the future leaders of our party. I have no doubt that among you, the future regional and national executives of this great party, you, the youth, today are the future of Ghana. You embody the hope of our nation. For us in Dankwakusia tradition, young people represent the life and soul of our tradition of this beloved party. Over the years, you have remained very instrumental in promoting the ideas and ideals of our beloved party. You have served as a fulcrum around which the party's campaign strategy revolves, availing yourselves in helping turn the electoral fortunes of our party through the hard work and sacrifices without inducement. For this and many other roles you have always played, the party remains entirely grateful. I stand on behalf of the national executives of the party to express our sincere gratitude to you, the members of TESCON, for your devotion, stubbornness, sacrifices, spirit of volunteerism, and commitments to the cause of our party, particularly during the 2016-2020 elections. Today, we are in government because you all contributed to making this possible. TESCON has indeed come of age, and as you all recall, on the 7th of December 2019, we celebrated the 20th anniversary of this great association. In MPP, of course, we cannot talk about TESCON and all its achievements in the past 20 years without talking about the youth wing under which TESCON was formed and operates. It is therefore a step in the right direction that, in congratulating TESCON for all the achievements it has shown, we also salute the national youth wing of the party and all its regional and constituency branches for bringing TESCON this far. Today, TESCON and for that matter, the youth wing of this party has taken the commanding lead in playing a significant role in the affairs of the party at the highest level. It is therefore not surprising to see former youth organizers of the party, including Mr. John Wedu, the General Secretary, Samia Oku, the National Organizer, and the National Youth Organizer, Loya Nanabi, taking charge of the party administration and organization at the highest level, so you can also do it. The MPP government, under the distinguished leadership of His Excellency President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo and His Excellency Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, has simply demonstrated and continues to demonstrate a strong commitment to matters of youth development and also a strong commitment tackling the very challenges confronting the nation through various interventions and policy frameworks. Among some of the youth-centered interventions under my government to meet this needs of the youth, including the award-winning free SHS, the NACO, YEA, employment bonus, strengthening NYE, and NEIB, and many others. So, whether at the party or government level, the MPP is committed to students and youth parties and cannot let them down. One thing that is certain is that, in view of your vibrancy, students and the youth make and unmake governments. Students and the youth make and unmake political systems, and for that matter, political parties. And so, the electoral fortunes of MPP in the 2024 general elections, just like in every other election, to a large extent depends on you people, the TESCON, and the role you will play going forward. On this basis, I really associate myself with the term of the inauguration and handing over ceremony. That is, rebranding TESCON in breaking the eight and the role of UPS TESCONites. Really and truly, if we want to break the eight in 2024, then TESCON UPS and other tertiary institutions has a significant role to play. The role can only be discharged effectively if TESCON focuses on its founding principles of being the intellectual organ of the party. To break the eight, you need to assist the party and government with academic papers and cutting-edge researches on modern ways through which we can communicate other achievements and messages to every young person in this country. It should not be the social usual rhetorics. We can only break the aid through pragmatic actions. I also expect you as the next generation of leaders to take special interest in strategically repositioning yourselves by taking advantage of all the many opportunities made available by this government to you people to add value to yourselves and acquire long life skills fundamental to unlocking your potentials. As we head towards election 2024, in pursuit of our target of breaking the 8, the party expects TESCON to continue to establish its relevance within the body politic. It is also expected of products of TESCON not to constitute themselves into TESCON alumni or association of past TESCON leaders, as we heard some time ago, but to transition themselves into party mainstream strategies, particularly at the constituency and then the regional levels. The training and experience you receive in TESCON should not end with your completion of school, but should be translated into valuable party deliverables at the various levels. The party is also revisiting the policy of providing subventions to TESCON in all the recognized tertiary institutions in the country on regular basis, at least every semester, to enhance the activities of the Confederacy. I wish to assure you that the party leadership remains highly committed to supporting TESCON to meet its founding objectives. The party is currently putting in place a strategy to transition products of TESCON into party's mainstream structure, particularly in the area of communications and research. To conclude, I wish to, on behalf of the party, commend the outgoing executives of TESCON UPSA for their illustrious work in bringing TESCON UPSA this far. We say I only wish to congratulate the newly executives on the assumption of office today and to assure them that the office of MPP General Secretary will always be available to assist them in their activities. And of course, towards rebranding of TESCON to break the 8. The way for TESCON is and remains forward. Thank you. Commitment. 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 Thank you.
The engagement of the Deputy General Secretary of our party, representing Agyarko from Boakye. Yes, the General Secretary of the party. Thank you so much, Honorable Ilaye Square, for giving us a message of the General Secretary, Honorable John Wedu, and accepting to. Right, so let's clap for Honorable Ilaye Square. He has accepted personally to adopt TESCON UPSA. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so right, so like a father, Bible says that even your father, when you ask for bread, he won't give you stone. The same way, a very, very benevolent father, the office of the General Secretary, ably manned by our chief scribe, Mr. John Wedu, has pledged an amount of 20 million Ghana cedis, 2,000 Ghana cedis. Thank you so much, sir, for the kind gesture. So the TESCON UPSA executive should go the list. The next speaker was on program to be the chairperson for today's program. But because of a change in schedule, our honorable, venerable father accepted the mantle, and so he is here as a special guest of honor. A former vice president of the Bank of New York, an accomplished economist, and an accomplished politician. You know, there's a way of going through the ranks. There's a way of going through the ranks to the extent that now you see, you have done it all, seen it all. You have walked every path, direction, tested every water, so far as the political landscape in Ghana is concerned. As for being a former campaign manager, he has done it so many times. He brings fresh touch, he brings international knowledge, he brings local grassroots politics. And indeed, he is one who speaks and walks the talk. He is the immediate former Minister of Energy. And you know what he did during his time fighting and ending the saga of Boakye. It is very fresh on our minds. With a standing ovation, let's receive Honorable Boakye Agyarko, our incoming waiting.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen assembled at the high table. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of TESCON UPSA. I bring you good tidings. It is always a pleasure for me to address young people. And the basic reason is that in addressing young people, you always look forward. In addressing my age group, we are always talking about our past, not future. And it is in addressing the future that you bring development to yourself and to your people. So it is important always that when I meet TESCONites, I find this pleasant. And the first takeoff point I ask is, why are you in politics? Some may suggest that it's because of national service. That may be a small part of your reason. But ladies and gentlemen, I beg to differ, because I believe there is a larger purpose that we may not be addressing our minds to. All of us participate in politics and go through these arduous processes collectively to build a nation that can provide the creature comforts that we are looking for, the better future for ourselves and for our succeeding generations. That is why we all participate in politics. I can imagine that some of our friends on the opposite side may have a different reason for getting into politics. They came here, displayed it, and walked out. Their reasons may be different, but not us. We participate in politics
for the sole purpose of building a good nation that we can live in. The primary assumption here is that the goodness we are looking for comes from good governance. How do we get good governance? We strive for it. Indeed, the Bible teaches us that when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people groan. You can find this in Proverbs 29:2. But it is not only Christians who say this. My friends from the Muslim side also have their teachings. And with their permission, let me quote from Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 201. It says, Rabbana atina fi dunya hasanatan wa afil arihati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. What this says is that the Lord gives us the good things of this world and also the good things of the hereafter, and save us from the torment of hellfire. Rabbana atina fi dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azaban nar. With your permission, let me change just one sentence of the Quran. And instead of saying wa qina azaban nar, I want to change it to wa qina azaban NDC. May the Lord bless us and not give us the rule of NDC. So we are going to achieve good governance by having a party such as ours in power. And if we are going to be in power, we have to look at our dynamics. What drives our elections? Some have suggested it, and permit me to reinforce the point. That is, if you look at the demographics of Ghana, it is all young people. 68% of Ghanaians fall under the age of 40. They fall in the youth category. That is to say. So if you are a serious politician and you want to do serious political mobilization, you cannot but focus on young people. You cannot but focus on young people. But what does it mean by mobilizing young people? It is certainly not about calling young people to meetings once a while, organizing parties to make them feel good about themselves, and calling upon them only when you need them, only when the election is around, and you need young, vibrant legs to run your errands. No, that is not political mobilization of young people. Rather, I see political mobilization of young people as embracing them, teaching them, mentoring them, and giving them an active role in all the things that concern them. So political mobilization for young people, for me, as I properly understand it, consists of embracing, teaching, mentoring, and involvement. The current state of TESCON, it operates more like an informal collection of eager, highly talented young people in pursuit of politics. This informal arrangement, in my judgment, is not the best arrangement. Sometimes it makes it look like these young people or these young TESCON people are a push. Did I get the term right? Yes. It's as if you are a host. You are trying to force yourself onto the elders of this party, looking for acceptance. It is not the best arrangement because it can leave you downhearted and feeling rejected. There must be a change in the paradigm of TESCON arrangements. It can no longer be that it is only your desire to be embraced, to be taught, and to be mentored. It is in our self-interest, our enlightened self-interest, to ensure that the young people of this party are embraced and taught properly. For me, therefore, a new paradigm for TESCON must be a formal mentorship program. A formal mentorship program. In so doing and in so saying, it means that every TESCON member must be properly registered, ID'd, and given information on themselves. So as my dear friend here said, it should be possible for party headquarters to go into that database and say, who are the people interested in sociology? And all the names must pop up. Who are the people interested in grass cutter chasing? And all the names must pop up. By so doing, we are able to uniquely identify all our TESCON people and the interests that they have. Besides that, TESCON members must be assigned, formally assigned, to senior members of the party, members of parliament, ministers, it should not be left in the hands of senior members to pick the TESCON people they wish to work with. No. It should not be left in the hands of TESCON people to go searching for who they want to work with. It must be a formal process, even if by lottery. Even if by lottery, blindsided. You are the majority leader, and therefore we are assigning you 3 or 4 political science students to come and learn parliamentary procedure from you. And you do not have the right to say no. If we do it this way, we will be giving hope to our young people. Let me give you my own experiences and how I've arrived at this position. Many, many years ago, some of you may think before dust formed on earth. But in 1978, I was the youth leader for the Popular Front Party on the Legon campus. And Victor Owusu was the presidential candidate. He happened to be my direct cousin, and therefore I had access to him. But in my own experience, my late father, who was a founding member of the National Liberation Movement and the United Party, as well as Progress Party, assigned me specifically to some people to mentor me. J.H. Mensah, Kwam Pienim, B.J. Garucha, and Ari Kwash. I was lucky, and it gave me huge opportunities. But I do not want present-day TESCON people to be in the lucky group. What if you don't have a father like Agyarko who can order people to mentor you? His children. That is why I am insisting that this new paradigm must be like a lottery where you are assigned by interest to seniors of this party, so that for even short periods of time, you can gain access to people, form friendships, and learn from them. Mentoring is a difficult and tricky subject, and we must make sure of that. My second experience comes from when I became Vice President of the Bank of New York in New York. I felt very elated because every summer the bank hired 600 students in their MBA programs. And I thought I was going to be given the opportunity to hire some, at least give some summer jobs to the Ghanaian students who were struggling in New York in MBA programs. A few days before the program was to commence, the chairman of the bank called me to his office, Tom Rennie. He called me to his office, and they all called me Bo, because Boakye was a tongue twister for them. I just said, cut it short, don't break your tongue, just call me Bo, it's okay. He says, Bo, here are 2 files for you. What are these files for? He says, the summer program. This is from the Republican Party, and this is from the Democratic Party. 300 for Republicans, 300 for Democrats. I was not given a chance to hire even one person. That is what the political parties in America do for their young people. They make sure that the young Republicans who are going through their system get opportunities. The Liberty Institute also trains them, gives them material to read. You must read on the founding fathers. You must read what it means that we have this system. The Liberty Institute does that. But on the economic side, the parties make sure that their young people are funneled through these institutions so that these opportunities are not missed. And lo and behold, it's not only Bank of New York that does that. All the 16 money center banks go through the same process. All the big corporations and Bush, all of them go through the same process. So by the end of the summer, you can bet your last dollar that the young people of the Republican Party or the young people of the Democratic Party have had some solid training and contacts. When they finish school, they are not lining up at some minister's office or some secretary's office looking for jobs. We put you in Bush. You make contacts there. By the time you are finished as a graduate, you already have a job. This is the kind of system I wish to recommend to this party. Nay, this is the kind of system I want to impose upon this party for adoption, so that we can have our young people encouraged to keep on serving this party. Serving this party, I can tell you, is not an easy task. It involves a lot of difficulties because you are working with humans, various interests, But in the long run, it is your party. I would rather belong to this party and be ill-treated or maltreated than join any other organization out there calling itself a political party. To sit on radio, particularly boiling points on Oman FM. I greet party people and I say this. My party, right or wrong, I stand by. When I say this, it doesn't mean that your party will not wrong you. MPP, they'll wrong you, pa. But it's your party. And I urge you that anytime your party wrongs you, have it as your mantra that it is your party. My party, right or wrong, I stand by. Look, I know all of you have your expectations. But expectations are not fulfilled simultaneously for all of us at the same time. Even God who created this earth and all that is in it, He could have said that all my children receive your blessings instantly at the same time and at the same moment. The Quran has a term, kun fayakun. It says, and it is. It says, and it is. The good Lord could have said, all of you inside this room, be blessed instantly. Open your pockets, and your pockets will be full of dollars. Not so, but He doesn't do it that way. There is a reason why He doesn't. God knows that He has to test us. God knows that He has to give us what is due us in its appropriate time. Because you see, sometimes getting something that may be due you in its wrong time can make you go crazy. Let me tell you the story of a friend of ours. His nickname was Opa. I don't know if you know Ghana very well, but he comes from a village called Fitinta. His uncle was a big cocoa farmer from Brekun. And all Opa was hoping for was that Oman Yukra Omuntem Nakashi in the side. Or the Omuntemo, the old man died. But he kept the money in his trunk, in the trunks. So Opa, being the only nephew, became an instant inheritor and an instant rich man. And he hit the town. Opa, suddenly throwing money about. Money that we haven't worked for. Money that has come in its wrong time was misspent. Not too soon, Opa found that the trunk was empty. Hey, what she said a dying man at the sun. So when the money started running out, and when you shout his nickname, Opa, was it to was? To be beaten, money came to Opa in the wrong time. He didn't know how to handle it. Be assured that the good Lord will prepare you, and in His own time, make sure that what is due you will be served for you. My message to you today is largely focused on two things. One is what this party
must do for its young people. And two is what young people themselves must do for themselves. The first I want to recommend to you is loyal service. Every loyal service is truly rewarded. In this part, I have come to know and accept that when you are patient enough, when you are loyal enough, and when you serve enough, no matter how the winds may turn, you will get your reward. The other thing is self-discipline. Self-discipline. Discipline can mean a lot of things for a lot of people. But holding yourself to account is the first sign of discipline. Making sure that you know the party you have been brought into is an act of discipline. I would recommend that every single person who calls herself or himself an MPP member ought to read Article 2 of the Constitution and commit all the 28 sub-articles to memory, because it defines clearly for you what your your responsibilities are as an MPP member and what core values you must hold and believe in. The other thing I would want to impose upon you is faith in yourself and faith in your party. Stand up and be proud, because you belong to a tradition that has stood the test of time. MPP has a long tradition. We first originated as the UGCC, which was launched on 4th August 1947 at Cayman Lodge in Farouk. You have all the heavyweights as part of your tradition. It is no small wonder that this tradition has survived from 4th of August 1947 to date. It is the oldest political tradition in Africa. And there is a reason why it has survived. It has survived because its core values are true. It has survived because our progenitors and those who came above us served this party and its tradition loyally. It is incumbent upon us now that we must also emulate the kinds of things our elders did. That is, hold true to our values, have faith and confidence in ourselves, that we belong to a tradition, we belong to a party that we can be proud of. That doesn't mean we won't make mistakes. We will. That doesn't mean we will not get it wrong sometimes. We must, because it's a human institution. Success does not come from succeeding. Success comes from failure, because it is out of failure that you learn lessons in order not to tread that path again. So as a human institution, we must and will fail sometimes. The last large point I want to leave you with, in terms of what you must do for yourself. Madame here talked about education. It is a core and critical component of any human being's development. My father taught me that real learning begins when school days end. Real learning begins when school days end. That means in school, you are given the basic and the rudimentaries. I remember learning economics in 6th form and going on to graduate school to find out that a lot of the things I learned in 6th form were not actually true. Wow. So they lied to us? It's like a cartoon I saw this afternoon where this poor man is leaning out of a window and saying that they lied to us in school. Because if they said the world goes round, why am I still in Africa? The world is going around. I started off in Africa. I should be in Europe somewhere as a tech. The thing about what I just said is that you take the rudimentary, the basics in school and apply them to your life. Apply them to your life. I can tell you, I can honestly tell you, that when I was in infancy school, I was not the best student. There really sounds shit. I was not the best student. But based on what my father had taught me, I left school and started applying myself. I urge that upon you as well. Secondly, the choices you make about education. I read a paper called The Future of Employment. The Future of Employment. And what this paper was basically talking about is, in the next 10 to 20 years, what kinds of skills are going to be required to be employed in the future? What kind of skills? Are we choosing courses because they are easy? Are we choosing courses because the grades are easy to get? Or are we choosing courses with our eyes on the future? When I was minister, I realized a painful truth, that we did not have enough welders to attend to the ships, the petroleum ships at sea. And that we had to bring welders from South Africa and the Philippines. And when I tell you what kinds of salaries they were making, wouldn't even bother. Welders. I'm not talking of Abosoka welders. These are specialists, ISO certified. But guess what? GMPC was sending students out all over the world doing things that we did not need. So we have probably 400 of such graduates on scholarship trained by us who have skills we don't need, who have skills they cannot apply in our environment. I will ask you, please endeavor to make sure that in order to be relevant, the choices you make in the courses and subjects are such that you are not going to struggle when your school days are done. If you don't, then the struggle will continue. As they say, aluta continua. The final point I'm making under this is, please do not shun technical training. Do not shun technical training. I once met a PhD when we were in New York, and he was so bossy. At the end of the day, I found out that he was a taxi driver in New York with a PhD. And there are many of them like that, especially those who don't have papers. But this one had papers. So I was curious. Come to find out that his PhD his thesis was in hesitation sounds in the Swahili language. It's like when you are speaking, you say, that is what this man like. Why do you do hesitation sounds in Swahili? Who is going to hide? First of all, America is not Swahili. So for the 6 years that he spent doing the PhD, I hope that's what. But I can also tell you that in New York, anytime I call a plumber to my house, whether he spent 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I automatically owe him $100. Automatically. And you have technical people earning that much. What I want to impress upon TESCON, you yourself, our party, and our government is to make sure that we provide an opportunity for our young people to get into technical training, properly certified ISO technical training programs, so that they can be marketable the whole world round. Just as we are bringing Filipinos to weld our ships, you can then be sent elsewhere to earn good money to take care of yourself and your family. I believe that if we put all of these things together, if we remain committed to the cause that you have chosen for yourself, the time will come that you will stand on this podium or a similar podium and be telling your story to energize and encourage other young people. Just as I, 1978, didn't believe or didn't think I would have this opportunity, so must you believe that if you stay true to our cause, work hard, be disciplined, adopt the mantra that my party, right or wrong, I will stay by you. It won't be long that the benefits and blessings of joining this truly great party will pour on you. Thank you.
It is affectionately called Torino. Sir, please, before you take to your seats, we want you to do the very first presentation of all the presentation of certificates to the past, immediate past executive members. I invite our so we invite the TESCON UPSA organizer, past Emmanuel Lopon, if you are here with us, Emmanuel Lopon, to receive your certificates. Right, is coming. The next person is Master Joseph Apia. If you are here with us, the Assistant Secretary, past Assistant Secretary, TESCON UPSA. Joseph Apia, right? Okay.